no disgrace that this is the place for Case. Darren, that is.
Hi, Tony.
Hi,
Are
Darren.
you emotional?
Well, I'm a little bit weepy. I'm. You know what? I'm calling my tears ice wet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I admire what you're doing, but I wonder if you haven't been believing your own publicity,
Okay.
caught up in your own uppity kind of world,
Yep.
thinking you're better than everyone.
Yeah.
I heard that you have been walking around in a sort of a jumpsuit, a jewel-encrusted jumpsuit with an entourage.
Yep.
I can't get at you. You're always surrounded by people.
By flunkies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just remember that you came from dirt.
Thanks,
Don't
Darren.
ever forget that, Tony.
All right. And I'll
me
return to
too.
dirt.
When we met, we both came from dirt.
Yeah.
And, we've got to remind each other of that.
It's good to
You
stay
came from
grounded,
dirt.
like literally. Yeah.
There's always someone there to remind you that you always came from dirt. Just the other day, someone came up to me and said, "You came from dirt." Mum was always reminding me.
Right.
Just remember that you came from dirt.
Right.
Off to school. And don't forget, dirt.
So
I've never forgotten
It
it.
was just shorthand by the time you were 7. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're off to the big league.
Yeah, I'm off to the Big Smoke, the afternoon show, 12 till 3 p.m.
Yeah. Hey, can I just say, I posted on Facebook that we were doing this segment,
Yeah.
and the response was very heartfelt and nice. So just thanks to everyone who said nice things. I can't reply to everybody because I came from dirt, but it was very nice of everybody to say nice things.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And they want to know if I'm going to be doing anything, and we just don't know at this stage.
Well, I
There's
want
heavy
you to.
hitters.
Well, Darren,
There's-
you and I can't not work together. This is a thing.
Well, at this, as we speak, there are big ticket guys, big alpha guys,
Yeah.
eyeballing each other.
Yeah, cross-board tables.
There's
There's brinkmanship going on.
brinkmanship,
Yeah.
and in the corridors of power, alpha guys,
Stare
heavy
downs.
hitters.
Yeah.
And I've told them I want a hill of beans. And they said, "You're not worth a hill of beans." But we'll see how it goes.
They countered with a bucket of warm spit.
That's disgusting.
Or a pitcher of warm. That's what Lyndon Johnson said about the vice presidency. He said the vice presidency's not worth a pitcher of warm spit.
Oh, but see, that's how people talked back then.
Yeah, well, him especially. He was very crude.
And then they punched each other hard in the face.
Yeah, and shook hands.
All right, so Halloween. I'm going to do my favourite Halloween gag.
Yeah, great.
Been done, of course.
I'd
but
love
we love to bring back the gold on this segment.
Yeah.
But last year I read this article about a woman in quite a leafy suburb.
Yeah.
And she complained that she felt that there were poor kids, bullyish sort of poor kids coming into her street and her suburb and bullying the kids
Yeah.
for their sweets, knocking on doors and expecting to cash in, from the wealthier people in this wealthier suburb.
Yeah.
So she was saying, I'm only going to give, chocolates to the I don't want to be giving chocolates to the poor kids.
Yeah.
Only the locals. And so you imagine the kid knocks on the door and she goes, "Oh, hello, little boy, that's a lovely skeleton outfit you're wearing." And he goes, "Who's wearing a skeleton outfit, lady? I haven't eaten in 3 weeks." Right, isn't it?
Now beat it, scram, get out of here.
And then she goes, "And get out of here, knucklehead." And because his head is so skull-like, it actually is like a knuckle. He's an actual knucklehead. And get out of here, you knucklehead. Because your head is a lot like a knuckle.
And then he does that really strange walk that skeletons do because they're so light. You know that one?
They do. They walk strange because they're so light.
Yeah, they do. They look like marionettes.
I never knew why they walk so funny like that.
Yeah.
It's because they're so light.
Exactly.
They've got no muscles.
No.
Yeah. Interesting.
And they come from dirt.
They walk. It's funny. They walk funny. Oh, you're killing me. All right. What kind of a parent are you, Tony? Because I was reading about different types of parents. I've known about the helicopter thing.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I've known about helicopter parents because they hover around. They've been around for 10 or 15 years or something. I've been hearing that expression.
Yeah.
But I heard there's all these new ones. There are jellyfish parents.
Oh, hang on. What are they?
Snowplow parents.
Okay. Yeah, do go on.
I think your jellyfish parent is kind of never gets angry, is kind of a very absorbent and rubbery and just kind of puts up with whatever their kid's throwing at them.
Yeah.
So the kid doesn't learn any good values. And a snowplow parent, that was a bit easier to understand. They go ahead of their kid, clearing the way
Oh, okay. Yep.
of all problems.
Yep. Okay.
Anything that a perceived difficulty,
Yeah.
and maybe even calling them, making sure they're going to classes,
Yep.
and different types of parent. Would you say you're in any of those categories as a parent?
I'm more like the father from The Sound of Music.
Just handball it over to a nanny.
I do, to the governess, while I'm reading a newspaper and having kippers delivered to me.
Of course.
And I deliver, a stern moral lecture, just turning the top of the newspaper down, not putting down the whole thing, but just turning and just making eye contact with my recalcitrant child, and then go back to my newspaper.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
And look, I'm just going to branch away from. Well, I'll get back to that, but I think the best type of parents were the Turpins. Do you remember the Turpins?
No.
We discussed the Turpins. The Turpins, their style of parenting was more so bad we both end up in prison.
Okay.
Style of parenting.
Yeah, talk us through that.
When one of the 13 kids finally managed to escape, this is in America somewhere, and get to a neighbour and then to the police, they found kids chained to bed.
Oh, yes, I remember them.
Cupboards. Remember
they were
them?
evil. Yeah, you're right. They were evil.
Brilliant parents.
Yeah.
How could you be so bad at parenting? It's like shops are full of books on parenting. I don't get it. They get it wrong.
There's no
like
excuse.
Yeah. Like calling your mum. Just that old one, just call your mum. Look, when do I chain this kid to the bed? When? So he can just lie around in his own soil.
Oh, soil.
When do I do that? And the mother's going, you'll just know, honey. Instinct.
Oh, my God.
You'll just know.
You'll just know. Just trust in yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Come from dirt.
Oh, Lord.
Just from dirt. A lot of people don't know why I stopped doing this segment.
Yeah.
We might as well tell them that it was because my wife started turning up in the studio
Yep.
and, just offering bits of advice on how you should be doing your show.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
it drove a wedge between us.
Yes.
And we split up.
She was. Your Japanese wife was always going to do that, I felt.
Yes. Hey, look, speaking of I'm all over the joint. I've got different things to say. We were having sushi.
Yeah.
This is about 6 months ago, and I had some sort of little bag of fish that came through, a sushi train it was.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it was one of it had fish in it, and it was a little, I don't know if it was a miso stack of fish or some little collection of fish, and it smelt bad. As I put it toward my mouth, I smelt before I even put it in my mouth. I thought, no, something's wrong.
Yeah.
The fish's been out a bit too long, and I didn't make a big deal of it because their other stuff was fine, and anyone can make a mistake. And I've worked in kitchens, and I just said to the guy who was moving around, I said, look, I think just let the chef know. I think his fish might be got a bit of a dodgy batch there.
Yeah.
And I gave it to him, and, no problems. Yeah, no charge, of course not, no problem. And I watched him. He goes over to the chef who we can see over there, young guy. And he mentions to the guy, the fish, bit dodgy. The guy doesn't respond in any way. Barely looks at it. Doesn't look at us, doesn't wave, doesn't acknowledge anything, and doesn't make an attempt to grab the other 4 or 5 fish bags that are still on the train.
Oh.
Did absolutely nothing. And I just thought, what a sap.
Yeah, that's not good.
I was disgusted. I thought, at least check the other. Let's sniff it.
Yeah.
Don't just keep working with a stern look on your face. Didn't even sniff it. Just looked at, nothing. Didn't handle it well. But then I thought, what if he has to then kill himself? We used to hear about that.
Yes,
that
true.
Japanese dignity thing.
That's right.
If you brought shame on yourself or you came second in business school, you had to cut your leg off or something. Remember all that?
Yep.
What if we walk out and we see him out in the alleyway just sobbing with a big sword, about to run himself through, and he's a sushi chef, so he's going to do a pretty good job of it. No, mate, come on, it's just a bit of rotten fish. Lighten up. Yes, sashimi.
You're allowed to make one mistake.
You're allowed to make one mistake. You're allowed to make one mistake.
We went to a
stinky fish.
One of those Japanese places with the sushi train, but it was a Japanese bullet train, and it was going 160 kilometres an hour. We all starved.
I love a sushi train joke. One of the sushi trains near us was taken over by New South Wales Met.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't get fed. It just kept breaking down.
Exactly. Industrial action.
Yeah. And really slow. And then there was a big pile up. And,
Yep.
I love a sushi train joke. I like sushi.
Yeah.
Although I don't have this fish. We didn't go back to that joint after that bad effort from that guy.
No, he will do very poorly at what they call the sushis, which are the annual sushi awards.
Yeah.
That held at Darling Harbour.
Yeah.
At a big conference centre there.
Yeah. And
it's called sushi.
He had to cut some of his fingers off.
Okay.
The reason when you were talking about sitting in a cat reading a newspaper being like an Austrian father, I thought, would you have a dog bring you a pipe and slippers?
I would love that.
Because I was talking to someone who was a wrangler with animals for the film industry.
Yeah.
And he said you can train anything. To do anything.
Really?
Yeah, for movies and stuff. This guy can get cockroaches to do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a trick to it. I'm sure the cockroach isn't actually trained, but imagine if you could train a cockroach to bring you your pipe and slippers.
Would it make that kind of twinkling sound that you do with the keys on a piano? As it walks across the room?
Would. Yeah. Piano. And then it might get up and play the blues.
Yeah, man. And
those old cockroach blues.
Yeah, with 6 arms. Very handy on a piano. Some very complicated...
Wow, you're going to get that whole 4-handed boogie thing going on.
Yep.
Gunga dunga 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 dung dunk dunk. That sort of...
Jeez.
6-handed, 8 legs boogie. Really, I was thinking that blues piano, because I used to play piano. Well, I still do a little bit, and I wanted to be all hard and bluesy, but my life wasn't rotten enough. You know how you got to you've got to really smoke a lot of cigarettes and drink a lot of hard whiskey.
You've also got to have a woman do you wrong, like really, and she's got to be a bad low-down woman.
Yeah, and you've got to have a lot of bad relationships with these bad low-down women if you want to be in blues, and you can't now.
No, because you're happily married, so that your wife has essentially crushed your blues career, Darren.
No one's allowed to smoke. I used to play the blues. I would have 3 cigarettes in my mouth, one in each nostril, one in each ear, and sometimes I'd even work one into an eye socket, and that was blues. It's called the old smoky blues. And people loved it, the ones that could see it. I think there's a guy on a piano somewhere over in that mist. That noise, I think that's one of his lungs. It's either that or a truck pulling up. The old lung blues, they were called.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that can't happen now.
No, God no.
Because if you started talking like that, you're going to end up in some sort of therapy.
Yeah.
You can't drink. And if you start talking about the woman who done you wrong and you're going to shoot her, well, your mentor or your counsellor is going to come in and go, no, that's toxic. You can't sing about that.
You would have to write the Ballad of Restorative Justice, where you would have to include her side of the argument.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of inclusion.
Yeah. And she's sleeping with your best friend, drinking all your whiskey.
Yep.
But, she's allowed.
Yep. We don't judge.
Because of some kind of patriarchy.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know about pretendians? Have we discussed pretendians?
No, we haven't discussed pretendians.
Pretendians, people who pretend they are of a culture and they're not.
Oh, yeah, there's been a few of those, and there's one high-profile one in Australia.
Yeah, Canada. There's a bunch of people that are out catching them. They've caught about 150.
Oh.
All these people, they're on committees, they're getting grants, they're drawing wages, they're walking around with feathers in their earrings with feathers, or the plaits with the headband and the feather.
Yeah.
And they're living in teepees and stuff, and they're, I'm first. No, and they're not. They're being busted.
Yeah, good.
It's fantastic. One of them even attacked a fort and tried to scalp a couple of Confederate soldiers. They got her. You're not an Indian. Stop it with your stupid style.
I wonder what the giveaway was.
It was the way she had the axe the wrong way or something.
Okay.
Just using a tomahawk is cultural appropriation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You need permission. You got to sign 17 forms and.
Yeah. Someone comes at you with a tomahawk, you go, no.
Yeah.
Go and get an axe.
Yeah.
Get a big Anglo axe. And
You are not allowed to come at me with that tomahawk unless you can prove your indigeneity.
Yeah. You get it.
Yeah, I'm on board.
That's what's good about you.
Thank you, Darren.
Now, this is an old favourite from the past, but because I went through some old stuff. What about when they found COVID in the Ganges River in India?
Oh, yeah. COVID.
They found traces of COVID. Never mind the typhoid, typhus, malaria, Ebola, rickets, herpes,
dropsy,
pink eye. Just nothing.
Yep.
There's 800 dead bodies a week go into that river.
Oh.
And they're worried you might get a bit of COVID.
You might get a slight cough.
Yeah. I've got a slight cough. You've also got 3 eyeballs wedged in your undies. It's disgusting. No. Cleansing.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's how we discovered soap as a species. The fat deposits, people would wash downstream of where the bodies had been burnt, and they would find that the fat was very useful at getting dirt off.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that how? Because there's fat in soap, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Yeah. It's not the most pleasant thought, but it's essentially how we went. Hang on, there's a link here between having something fatty and washing and it getting and it cleaning us. So
Incredible.
you'd have to pick out an eyeball out of your bar. Out of your
there
bar.
might be an eyeball in it. You pick them out.
Yeah, you do. Because that's a bit creepy. You feel like you're being watched while you're having a shower.
Yes.
And nobody likes that feeling.
Yes. So that's that old Indian expression. You pick out the eyeball.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm riding along on my bike and I see a crow.
Yeah.
I've got to wind up, but I see a crow eating a bit of roadkill.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, this is interesting because he looks like he's got quite a meal going there and he's eating a dead kookaburra.
Ooh, wow.
And he eyeballed me as I went past and I could see that he was thinking, he's not laughing now. Is that funny?
Oh, you are amazing. Darren
I've got
Casey.
one more to go.
All right, let's hear it.
Because I got to do a bit of the Rocky. Look, this was a joke. I don't know if it was in the movie, but, Rocky's on a date with Adrian. And he says, people say, with boxers, how come we don't have sex before a big fight? Because we don't like each other.
Oh, Darren. Darren Casey.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what to say because words are useless right now.
Just pick the eyes out.
Oh, pick the eyes out. Darren, glorious. Yep. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, look, you go off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And have a great... We'll see how we go with everything.
We'll be all right.
And I've loved doing this segment for the last 6.5 years. And I'll get emotional and... Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you again soon, even if it's off air.
You definitely will, Darren. You can take that to the bank. I love you like a brother. Thank you, Darren.
All right, Dan, and thank you to all the listeners for the kind words, and good luck to everybody. See you later.
The inimitable, truly, truly inimitable Darren Casey. Back in a moment.